One we had welded back together where it was broken. Put it on the belt sander there and smoothed everything out pretty nice. There's no real pressure on there. The mounting points are over here and over there. That was just somebody had it installed improperly. Looks flat to me. We'll find out.
Make it down a little bit.
This long neck Hercules cordless ratchet is awesome for hose clampers. It's a Harbor Freight deal. So we gotta fix that mount for the radiator. I forgot that had broken off before we took it all apart. There's more broken hardware. The cooling system is so contaminated on this bus because somebody has been running just water instead of antifreeze in here, or coolant. So yeah, we're gonna go through and flush this out as much as we can. We've already cleaned the radiator really good. We don't want to get all this gunk back in the radiator. It's getting too hard to hold. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and flush it.
I have to lose it.
That's fine. Go ahead. It's so clear now. Alright, we're flushing it out. Getting ready to leak out of this tube. Okay, it's leaking out the top here. Dripping, that's good. We added a 90-degree hose here so we can fill this pipe all the way to the top. And then we added a little extension over there, which brings it pretty much to the bottom of this height here. So that's filling everything with water here. And then we'll be able to flush it. We just don't want any of that end up in the radiator. Coming out of the top here. Okay, go ahead and drain it. A little bit of crap at the end, but it was doing real good. All right, go ahead. We'll do it one more time. It's getting hard to hold back the pressure. That's got a little leak on that little. Maybe I'll tighten it down. It's usually like some rope or something in there that seals that. It's not here yet. It's coming out the top though. You're gonna have to, yeah. Okay, that's we're spraying some rust inhibitor on all these holes and then running a thread chaser through them just to clean up rusty bits. We're using the never sees on these, all this hardware. Turn this over. Probably good for the cut. Went ahead and cleaned and painted the oil pan. It's had some welding done on it. Looks like something, maybe they hit something with it. It has not a very pretty weld job. And it's super pitted. The amount of rust that was on it. That's pretty intense. So anyways, we sanded it down and then threw a coat of paint on it there. A couple of runs. Hey, but at least a little bit of extra effort just to help it with rust protection in the future too. This is a new one. So this fuel filter here, I went to go prime the fuel system. So you take the little cap off of the top, you pour fuel into it. This type of filter shows you how plugged it is. As it runs, as it gets plugged up, the fuel level in this thing will come all the way up. And then as all these little openings get plugged up, it goes to a new one up here. And so you know when to change them. It's a great fuel filter system. I have one on my bus. This is manufactured by, mine's a Davco, which this is manufactured by Davco, but under the Detroit Diesel name. But anyways, you take the little top off and you fill it with fuel. That's how you prime it. I go to get the big jug and I pour fuel in here and it goes everywhere on the floor. This is like liquid tight up here. The spring is so compressed in there, it's all the way up against the top of the filter. There is no room for the fuel to even flow through here. I'm like, something's wrong. Either they replaced this dome because it's brand new, clear. Usually they're all cloudy and nasty looking. So somebody put the wrong dome on it, or did they put the wrong filter in it, or what's going on? So I got the Davco wrench, which is a big wrench, that big flat. Oh, I can't, I gotta grab it again. It's a big flat wrench that goes around these teeth. Just a minute. Okay. So take this over here. So that spring's part of this, so it's not like I have the wrong spring in there or anything. And this appears to be the correct dome for it. So what's going on with the filter here? I look at it, I'm like, where's the number at on this thing? Let's check it out. And I pull it up and I look. And I'm like, hey, wait a second. That's not supposed to be there. So there's this rubber stopper that comes in the filter that seals the bottom. It comes in there. And somebody left the old one already on there. So when they took the old filter off, they left this stopper on there. So it had double stoppers, which means that the filter, it was still sealing okay, but it just means that it sat up so high that when the lid was on there, you can see it even left indentation on there. But now when I put this on, I can actually prime it with fuel at the top because there'll be an opening. Crazy. Somebody left that on there. Put it between there.
Which one? Oh, in between.
That really helped. It's like rubber cement. So in order to get that, there's only room for your fingertips to go around that corner there and to hold that nut and get that nut started. It was very, very difficult. You can't do it from the bottom there where we have a little bit more room because there's a piece of angle iron coming up on that. This shows you on the other side how the angle iron, so you had to come around this way with that nut. It was very difficult. Radiator's all back in. We're just about to start this after the rebuild. Everything's primed. We're just adding oil, and we got a couple coolant hoses left to go on. Okay. So we've cleaned and scraped off all the old gaskets down here on the oil pan area. That's the pickup tube there. There's some pressure relief valves. But if you notice this little seam right here, you need to make sure you smear Permatex over this seam here and on the other side, and same thing on the other end, because these blocks can be used in different configurations. So there's a seam for this bolt on, but you need to put Permatex there with the oil pan gasket just to make sure that it doesn't leak. So very important to do that. I'm using the ArcFeld Pro flashlight we just got from Olight. This one has, not only does it have the flashlight on it and the laser pointer, and then it also has the UV light, which not everything always has that. The other version of it has it. But yeah, so it has all three functions. Like the regular ArcFeld only has two of the three. You can either have the UV or the laser along with the flashlight. And then the flashlight has different, brightness settings on it. I had it kind of bright there for the camera, but it's got a pocket clip on it. It's nice and convenient to carry around. I do like these. We have 3 other of the ArcFelds, and Jonathan carries him with him 24/7. I'm always asking him to borrow it. Yeah, it gets very, very bright. So we're priming the fuel system here with a little hand pump into diesel fuel, and we're going through the filter here. So this is actually pushing it through the filter. Go ahead and pump a few times. And I just put this in here tight as he pumps. So we're pushing fuel through the filter, and then that's going into the head and all the injectors. So it should start right up when we go to do it. That should be good, Jonathan. Water all the way to the top in there. Let's go ahead and flip those 2 power switches on. Yep. Okay. And then
Was this the rear?
that shouldn't matter because you're gonna.
Okay.
That's the starter button right
yeah.
there. But grab the vice grips to control them.
All of it, nothing of it.
Yep. You're gonna let it start. You have your wood. We have a plate of steel to block it off. I'll hand this to you if you need to do that, but so you'll dial it back to the off position. I see a little water drip over here.
Going for that guy?
Is it from up above and it's running down to there?
Oh yeah, you see a little.
Okay. Yeah.
But those have to be replaced.
Okay.
All of it off.
So yeah, leave it in the off position
Okay.
and just bump the starter to get it turned over, but you have it in off right now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, bump the starter in the off. I don't want it to start, I just want to hear it turn over.
Ready?
Yeah. Let it turn over like a revolutionary two. Is it stopping on its own or are you stopping it? Okay, so So let's go address that issue with the fan. Shut the switches off. The shroud was broken here, and this we welded it then because the fan blade was hitting on this piece here where it was broken. So it spins freely now. We'd actually checked that before we hit it with the starter, but I guess it just moved a little bit now. We welded it back together there. These hose clamps are leaking because the hose clamp isn't big enough. It's all the way as tight as it'll go. So we need to go to the next size up. We ordered a bunch. They haven't come in yet, but that's the same for those and the sizes here and the ones that go back here. We like using these constant torque clamps when you're using silicone hoses. You know, if you use that this band style here, you can tear up the silicone. So, the heat and contractions and stuff cycles, these are much, much better. So we've ordered new ones for there, but we just put the old ones back on so we could get this thing going. These are over the fat part of because otherwise it was just leaking like crazy. But yeah, we needed to order the next size down. Yeah, we've got that plate of steel in case we need to shut it down. We can seal off the air on the turbo there, put the block of steel over that, and then that'll shut down the engine. Okay, I think we fixed the fan, but hold it in the off position again. Turn the switches on.
Off position.
Yeah, and then turn it over a few revolutions. Okay, hang on a second. There's some smoke coming off the battery there. Is it just because of the charger, or are those connections loose? Let's go ahead and you're going to start it and let it run for about idle RPM for a little bit, maybe 10 seconds or so, and then shut it off.
Okay.
So you'll just give it a little fuel there. Okay. Yeah. Well, it just took a few seconds there to get good fuel pressure and fuel at all the fuel injectors. It smoothed it out real good. Okay, we're gonna start it, and Jonathan's gonna get the idle set on the governor there. So he's got that little Allen screw there for the idle. He's gonna run that in to increase the RPM. Okay, you ready? Stick it there. And you're ready to shut off if you need to. Here it goes. Needs more fuel on the thing.
So we can just turn that.
Yep, turn that in.
Not a lot though.
Like one revolution I would do at a time. Okay, you ready? Keep your other hand on the rack there. If you need to do it, you ready?
Yeah.